I guess it's. Wait.
You don't already.
Oh, you don't need to.
Hey,
The only alcohol.
you have to work on your table manners. Table manners.
At the end of the day, when it has come to end.
when the elders are gathered, there's an etiquette to the pouring of drink. No, it's all good. I don't know. Do I need alcohol? I probably do.
Right.
Okay, there. Thanks.
Yeah. So anyways, the last couple of weeks. The last couple of weeks, we noticed that Putin had a meeting with some African countries, which I think it was about 15. Anyways,
some of
the African countries. Yes, and mostly Francophone countries, which are countries under the French rule. Anyways, so
which in my opinion are the least sensible countries in Africa. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, the lowest IQs are from some of these countries. So these guys met with Putin, and Putin, promised to provide free grain imports into many of these countries. Virtually all the countries in the meeting. And then he made a pledge to also supply some other, incentives, which the Western countries, of course, frown upon, because the United Nations is the primary producer of grain, importer of grain in Africa. Now, after the meeting, before the meeting, there were a couple of weeks before the meeting, there was a coup in Niger. And this country is just about northwestern to Nigeria, but we share the same border at the northwestern pole.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to point out that that's probably more of the focus of this. The coup in Niger, Putin, the Putin thing is just like a.
The Putin is just one of the points we are trying to make.
Well, we're really, but carry on.
Yeah, that was a good input. So, Putin, and after the meeting, there's been pressures on the Nigerian government, not the Nigerian government, not to be confused.
Yeah, you guys get that right. Nigerian.
Nigerian. So there were pressures on the government to kind of secede power and hand over to the civilian government. And the military government in Niger that came in after the coup happened, they refused to secede power. So the Nigerian government cut off electricity supply to Niger. And the Nigerian government had an ECOWAS meeting just a couple of days after the Putin meeting. And Niger failed to attend the ECOWAS meeting. Along with Niger, Mali failed to attend, and Burkina Faso failed to attend as well. 5 countries failed to attend that meeting, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was emphasizing on the need to sustain peace and civilian powers in Africa. And we want to go into the discussion today because it is like some of us hold the opinion that maybe some countries are playing the devil's advocates for the West, and some of us also believe that Africa is under true domination, and the only way true freedom can be done is if we take the powers out of some particular subjects in some of African countries. So we want to go into the discussion anyways. I don't want to take much of our time explaining. I believe you will all catch on.
So I'm going to start the conversation with this. What is Africa? Okay, that was a joke. You can carry it. Thank you everybody for laughing hilariously at my beautiful joke.
What is Africa?
So as you guys may know, Africa is a place that is filled with desert and bush and animals. In fact, I just saw one lion pass by my face right now. Now that is what foreigners think about Africa.
We saw one riding the lion.
We saw a monkey riding a lion. But anyways, Africa is just it's basically a state, just like your state, just less developed in most places.
I think that's fair.
So that's basically what is the point of whatever. So like
he didn't say undeveloped, he said less developed.
Less
they
developed.
Have brick houses. Nobody asked me anything about mud fuckers. Carry on.
And unlike most people think, Nigeria is actually a beautiful country. We don't have a lot of internet fraudsters, even though we have a lot of internet fraudsters. But we don't.
But wait,
we don't just
which
do that.
country doesn't have one? Which country doesn't have one?
Yeah,
So-
it's just like it's because we are known for it. Everybody knows. All around
Actually,
the world, everybody
that was
knows
a joke.
Nigerian prince.
That was a joke. And I believe
That
God
Nigerian
for that.
prince has really gone
You
in.
don't cast.
I'm
guy.
telling you.
Yeah.
Like I saw a
I'm
statistic.
so surprised.
Yeah.
Like, why do they think Nigerian princes don't have money?
Guy, I saw a statistic that I think everybody that has ever had an email has received one from
That's
a
very-
Nigerian prince or some shit like that. Like it wasn't probably everybody, but it was so high that it could practically be everybody has
Right.
gotten an email from a Nigerian prince. And we don't have fucking monarchy in Nigeria. Well, we do have princes though, so yeah, we do have princes. That's not a lie.
I like some of our guests to touch on the Niger subject and the tensions between the Nigerian government and the Nigerian military junta. I want us to really elaborate and see our thoughts, see our mind, because I believe we will have a very intelligent conversation.
Yes, and we might be able to prevent a war or start one.
So, guy,
So the question is, when we are talking about this Niger situation, this Niger situation, understand? First of all, I want us to consider the possibility that the Nigerian people, not the Nigerian people, the Nigerian people, they are our brothers and sisters. You understand?
Yeah.
So now,
Man,
anything,
fuck that. I want to carry.
anything we're doing, we have to consider the fact that we share the same borders. You understand?
Yes.
According to some articles I read recently, you
Yeah.
understand? Most of their people they married from our people. Then our people also married from them.
Yeah.
So considering,
there's Fulani Nigerians, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I
Fulani
think so.
Nigerians.
There's-
Yeah, definitely.
So-
they are also Nigerians.
Yes.
So considering the military intervention, which from what I read again recently on Sun, I don't think the Nigerian Senate have kicked against using the military intervention on Nigeria.
Yeah, which is a good move.
It's a very good move.
And there was also this peace flag presented by the Nigerian military. I don't know if you are aware, but
I didn't see that. I didn't see
yesterday that happened. The
Yeah.
Nigerian military brought a peace flag, like a white flag, just like we don't want war.
But now the thing is, understand before.
Sorry, I
before,
wanted to point out one thing real quick. There was a ultimatum given by Tinubu on behalf of ECOWAS. They gave an ultimatum to Niger, the military government to pack up and
Give it to
cede power back to the Democrats leader Chiani.
the civilian leader.
Civilian leader. What was that? Chiani is the military one. The civilian one is whatever his name was.
Bam or something.
Let me check it out. I'll look
It
it
was
up.
Bazoum. Yeah,
Bazoum.
Bazoum. Yeah,
Not
Bazoum.
our own Bazoum of.
Bezum or something.
Yeah, Bazoum.
That's the Niger president.
So the ultimatum was to cede power back to Bazoum, and the deadline given was today. That was why I wanted to that's why I interrupted you. Sorry. Like today is the deadline. So after you guys, by the time you guys are watching it, Nigeria is either at war with Niger or
No,
it's
we're not
not.
going to be
So
I'm not going to be
I really doubt that. But continue. I believe Western African countries are smarter than that.
yeah,
I want to
we
believe
hope.
that.
I hope so.
No, the thing
I hope so.
is that before recently, you understand, the Nigerian government, let me just say ECOWAS, you understand, we know that the Nigerian president is the head of the ECOWAS, so they sent someone to go and negotiate peace. They sent someone, Abdul Salami, something, there's the name of the person. I don't
Abdul
know.
Salami.
Yeah, they sent him, you understand. But before they sent him, for that
Sultan of
reason,
Sokoto or something.
okay, Sultan of Sokoto.
The two people, Sultan and Abdul Salami.
So they sent him to go and negotiate peace, you understand. But before they did that, they have already cut off Niger Republic. They have already cut off the lights,
The electricity.
you understand.
Yeah, among with other sanctions, by the way. That was
Before they
even
even send that peace, you understand. So me, I'm kind of wondering because I don't understand.
I find it
You want to
ironic
negotiate
though.
peace, you understand.
Yeah.
But you have already started some
Yes, this is
things
yeah.
to ensure that they do what you ask them to do. So I feel that it's kind of like it's unnecessary.
It's leverage.
It's less necessary.
Like it's not as if the military in Niger have not already acted. They have already acted. They have already ousted a democratic president. So they have already, as far as ECOWAS is concerned, they've already broken.
So ECOWAS have to do something now.
They're supposed to.
I think I get it now.
I find it ironic we are providing them electricity when we don't have electricity.
Well, we don't have 24 hours electricity, but we do have
Which
electricity.
source?
We have, I think, Nigeria does have the ability to generate enough power for Nigerians. What we don't have is the infrastructure within the country for everybody to circulate
the power. Huh.
So that's why we have excess that we can give out.
Right.
Well,
So
what I think is there's a lot of pressure on the current ECOWAS president or chairman, and for so many reasons, the present chairman of ECOWAS is Bola Tinubu. So the pressure on him is enormous. Sometimes you might want to blame him for taking certain moves, but then you just have to make those moves because he's the chairman of ECOWAS. And for Niger to have out a democratic president, that means ECOWAS, that is the group of, when I mean ECOWAS, that is the countries that are within the jurisdiction of ECOWAS have to make a move, because if you don't make a move, it's more about you are motivating this attitude among other countries. You understand? So definitely there need to be repercussions for all these actions. But I said you can't just let these kind of things go unpunished.
Yeah, especially considering that it's a trend within that region of Africa. It's not the first. This is the fourth.
I know the funniest thing about this thing is I did a little research. We might say it's a Russian effect or something, but then I did a little research and I noticed that out of these night coups, mostly like 100% of all these coups that have happened in Africa for this period, most of these armies that have overthrown their governments were trained by the United States. Funny how it is.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I sent you that link on IG. I know it's funny, and that's the irony of it. Mali,
Burkina Faso, Guinea, Niger.
Down. All those soldiers were trained by the United States.
How? Like how?
But that's like difficult to are they still on?
They were in the United States.
They trained in the United military
before they
went back to their government, and
They took over.
That's it.
You know, these guys are so smart because it looks like they did a coup down. I mean, I don't want to give it too much benefit. I don't want to give it too much benefit of the doubt, but I feel like the way they organized the coup
Was so organized.
is something that it should be hard to take them out.
Yeah.
You understand? Like it will be hard to have a civil
That's the
war
funniest thing.
inside of them. It's like they already had it in their minds to do it, and they have a religious way of making it accomplished. You know, if you notice this Ibrahim Traore, he's like the youngest among
he was trained by the United
like
States.
the upper echelon of that military.
He was trained by the
the
United
youngest
States.
one. But there's something they see in him, and they decide that he's going to be the one driving being in the driver's seat, literally. You understand? Now, that's just my intrusive thoughts. I still don't want to believe they are that smart to outplay the civilians.
So
I don't want to believe that because they are just military.
I have to
they didn't go through political school or go through economic school or whatever. They were just trained to carry gun.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe
I have two theories about this whole thing. So it's either there are just theories.
Yeah.
So it's either the Americans are looking for a new way to fund to make funds by causing a war. Understand? Because whenever there's a war, there's profit. Because right now nobody's talking about Ukraine war again. Understand? Or
they have made so much money from there that they are looking for a new way to make money. Is that what you're saying?
Or it's Russia's way of taking power away from the Western people.
So is it
Just to
is it Americans or Russians?
Now,
That's what I want to get to. Like, is it Americans or Russia?
No,
when you
two
say
points
is it
there.
America or Russia, now you start having questions because you see that all these military guys that are taking over their government are trained by the Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it Russia? Most of them went to the Russian president to seek for new ways of developing the economy. I don't think I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
it's a very tricky question with a very tricky answer. Understand? Because if you have gotten this knowledge from somewhere to come and overthrow your government, you can't tell me that the Americans don't know about this coup before the coup ever happened.
So you are saying that Americans they know about everything before it happens.
I'm not going to say
Or they
it.
know something about everything.
I'm trying to get like what do the Americans gain from all these coups?
Okay.
Because what I
example.
think is that, like, for instance, specifically in this Niger case, I think that America is more interested in Bazoum returning his presidency.
Let me give you an example. So can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to take your memory back. Do you know that Osama bin Laden was trained by the US Force?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, let's go back to 9/11.
9/11.
Yeah, when
The World Trade Center.
The World Trade Center.
Yeah. Now, when the
first,
World Trade Center was destroyed or blown, it took 2 weeks before Osama bin Laden came out and claimed that he was the one responsible for it.
I wasn't aware of that.
Go and check it. Now, no terrorist will take that long to claim
responsibility for an attack.
Now, before that, after he claimed responsibility, within that 2 weeks, less than a month, America occupied Iraq. Now, look, when they occupied Iraq was rich in resources, gold, poppy fields, and everything. And that's what I'm talking about. Now, look at Niger. Do you know that Niger is one of the countries that supply uranium, like highest in the world? They have uranium and they have gold. But uranium is one of their most exported goods. Now, uranium is what most of these big tech companies want these days, especially in the building of spaceship, these rockets, phones, and other things. I know what I'm talking about. It's just a theory for me. Understand? Now, this is a motive to start war and bring in troops. I know what I'm talking about. Bringing troops and start taking resources. This is just a theory.
Let me counter that.
Okay.
Slightly. So America already has troops in Niger before the coup. They didn't need the coup for that.
Even the
Yeah.
President United
But
States.
they need a reason.
Like they
I'll
already have
counter
troops
it
in the
with
US.
Another point.
You understand?
You said Niger is one of the biggest suppliers of
Yeah,
uranium,
yeah.
which is necessary in making war aids.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But America is not the only one that needs uranium.
Yeah, even France.
No.
Everybody.
I'm talking about the biggest places
Yeah.
where uranium is needed.
Yeah.
Talking about Russia.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And we all know why Russia would be in need of war.
Yes, that's why there's
Because
theory. Yeah.
so there has to always be two sides. to
Yeah,
it.
there's two
As you are
sides.
talking about the United States of
Yeah.
America, please keep in mind there's also
Russia.
Russia.
Yeah, you know that I just said I got two theories out. Understand? But you guys asked a question about if America.
Now there
understand
could be a
when-
third theory.
Yeah. Now what if I say
There
Russia?
could be also a third
Yeah.
theory. But
Now if
continue.
I say Russia,
Mm.
understand? If I say this is Russia motive. Now there's this war of just say the whole Ukraine war. Understand? Now the Western world has punished Russia severely with a lot of sanctions. But still, Russia has found a way to thrive in it. That's why they came up with this whole bricks and everything.
Yeah.
Now, I feel Russia, with the recent meeting with the whole world leaders from Africa, are trying to also take resources. When I say resource power from the Western world, is because the Western world take the resource power is in Africa, not there. That's what I'm talking about. Wherever they colony, that's their resource power.
You're
Now,
talking about Russia.
yeah, I'm talking about the Russians, but they want to take the resource power away from the Western hands, so that the Western hands will not have
that much leverage over that makes sense.
Understand?
Do you believe, were you the one I was having the conversation with, and we got to find out that Russia is actually the most rich in natural resources in the world?
Yeah.
We got to find that out, and then we noticed that most of what is produced in Russia is produced behind closed doors.
Yeah, true.
And when we are talking about warfare, that's one of the things that really upsets NATO.
Yeah.
That's why you can't really see that America won't want to go all out and go at war. Yeah. Because they don't really know what is on the other side.
True.
And
nobody
same
for the Russians,
same for China.
That's why whenever they want to fight war, they don't take the war, like attack each other's country. They find
the peripheral ground.
A peripheral neutral ground. Thank you very much.
That's Ukraine as a case study.
My fear is making America a neutral ground, because if you are following the news with Ukraine, I don't know if you followed the latest news that was on it. America is now planning on testing new tech in that Ukraine war.
I saw.
They are using Ukraine literally like a testing ground.
Yeah, that place cannot develop in the next 100 years now. So
we can't even talk about development because there's more destruction by the season. Let me give it into perspective. War is so terrible. War is fucking brutal. War is something that when you are staying, let's say we are staying in this studio, this is like our shelter, right? And a war breaks out in these districts. We would have to move out of this shelter, and we cannot carry traveling bags. You have to carry backpacks. Then you have to carry as little as you can, so that you can enter the bus. The soldiers will say a particular time you can enter a one bus, maybe at Abacha Road. No bikes are here. It's everybody just trekking with their loads. Children, women, all of us, we just move towards, be occupying these buses, and then they will take us to maybe the biggest church or the biggest hall center, the biggest building around here, and be putting people in there and be feeding us daily ration.
That's like a
war is crazy. Go see what's happening.
That is how war is.
But like, I feel like, why is it that America is getting who started the fucking war? I think that's the best.
No,
if I talk about Ukraine, the war.
I don't even want us to debate too much.
If America is supplying experimental weapons to Ukraine, it's because Ukraine requested them.
I feel like they should be more concerned. No, they also want to actually go on with the war. America.
I don't think so. Because
NATO
it's
a NATO
expensive.
It's a NATO backed
and NATO is having issues with how long and how costly this is. They are defending Ukraine. They're not attacking.
Let me tell you something. NATO is concerned, but the part of NATO that is concerned, I feel like it is more of countries in Europe. America wants to proceed.
America want to losing money.
They are losing money, but they still want to.
Why do you think they want to proceed? Like, what's the
so that is the thing. I don't see any sense in it. But if they are giving billions of dollars to Ukraine every month, yes, they want to proceed.
See, my own observation with it is, but whenever there's war, whenever there's a full blown out war, there's always a motive, because definitely you have definitely passed or sit down and go through all your diplomatic phases before it got to that extent. Understand? Of going to war. Understand? Now, America, sorry to say, understand, they are interested in the war, because this war would have been avoided if NATO did not give Ukraine that, oh yeah, you can join us. I know you are talking about. Because if you watch the recent...
I don't understand how saying you can join us.
Wait. If you watch the recent or the last interview of Joe Biden concerning the Ukraine war, he said NATO is not ready to accept Ukraine into NATO yet because of the ongoing war.
Yes.
Understand? Because they feel if they accept Ukraine now, understand, it will turn to a
world war, yes.
Now, good. But this will have been avoided since when you're telling Ukraine. I know you're talking about that.
This
you
is
can join me.
You repeated this point.
And
I will keep repeating my response. How is me saying you people can join my group a reason to start a war?
My guy,
who started the war?
My guy, let me tell you something.
Who started the war?
Let me tell you something. Do you know that for a country, see, there are ways to do things. There are acts of war. For a country, for you as a country to take your military things and take to the border.
It was not military.
Wait.
It was research.
No,
I
I'm
wouldn't
just
wait
telling
when
you
you're
as
saying something
an
that's
example.
wrong.
I'm telling you an
But
example.
that's not what happened.
Wait.
Like,
No, I'm not talking about the case of. For now, you know that Nigeria has sent their military people to the borders of Niger.
Yeah.
Do you know that is an act of war?
yes.
Yeah.
Now, for you, understand, for you in that hemisphere, understand, to say you want to join NATO is an act of war if you don't know it.
Why?
Just the way during that Cuba time when Cuba wanted to join USSR, it was an act of war for America. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I do.
So you don't have to join before.
And America invaded
Yes,
Cuba.
yes. America.
And how many people blamed Russia for that one?
A lot of people. See, my guy.
Do you
See,
blame Russia?
my guy.
Do
You know why?
Russia?
You know why people not blame Russia? Because Cuba did not join.
Russia.
Cuba
US.
Cuba did not join USSR. Do you know that? Because if Cuba joined
Ukraine
USSR,
did not
do you
join
think
NATO. You're not saying anything.
you don't understand what I'm saying. USSR occupied Cuba.
I get your point.
Operation Northwood. Have you heard of Operation Northwood? USA needed a reason to occupy Cuba by attacking one of their ships.
Yes,
Look,
it
I'm not.
was.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. I am not
But get
justifying
Sontee's
what
point.
the
You're
US
justifying.
did.
You're saying that the blame is on the US, just like
For that
the blame
one,
is on
just
the
like
South
now,
Africa.
the blame is
What?
on Russia.
Why would I say the blame on Russia? I think at that point, the blame is on Russia. Understand then?
Starting the war.
That Cuba
Yeah, the
war,
Cuba one.
yes.
No,
No, he's talking about the
The
Cuba
Cuba
one.
one.
He's saying that's
Yes,
Russia's
because Russia know that telling Cuba to join them,
Cuba is in the territory of
yes,
America.
is a act of war. Now, for NATO to tell Ukraine
Okay.
to join them, it's just like me teasing you. I know this is not your team. I won't come collect them.
That is
But
the
if you are
about human
justifying,
beings.
if you are justifying this, that okay, we cannot blame Russia, we should blame the US, right? What if I tell you now that if Nigeria invaded Niger, it will be the same.
Yeah, the same scenario. Yes,
it will be the same scenario.
Yes.
You are saying Nigeria is ECOWAS.
ECOWAS.
Where you are saying
If
Nigeria.
ECOWAS invade Niger,
See,
It's
Nigeria
Nigeria
is the one
sorry.
that shares border with them,
Yeah.
so it will be mostly us.
Yeah.
It will be
It will be
mostly us.
mostly
It
us.
has to be two countries, and then ECOWAS will be backing Nigeria.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's how it will be.
So if
I get what you're
the
saying.
only two countries that can fight in this scenario.
No, it is
Because
ECOWAS,
it is
yeah.
Nigeria and Niger.
ECOWAS will
Because
just send
if
some
Niger,
forces.
if Niger is attacking back, they are attacking Nigeria. They are
Yes.
not attacking the
We're
other
the ones with the border now.
But my guy, what I want to say is,
Just like
yes, the same thing.
Russia won't attack
Yes.
other parts of NATO.
Yes, yes,
yes,
Like
yes.
the same.
Yeah.
It's the same
Yeah.
scenario, but the thing is, there's no justification to war. Understand? But there is principle, there is steps on how you go about it. You can't just go about looking for trouble just because of the way, not because you want to say it's the right thing to do. You have to consider your people. You have to consider the people that it will affect the most.
Yeah.
Do you know that if the president of Ukraine has thought it well and know that this war is going to blow up to this full extent, he won't have advocate of joining NATO. Do you know that?
so
Do you-
they consider
Do you know that?
the
Do you know that?
war
Yes,
interesting.
yes. Literally said. Do you know that Ukraine people hate that president because he has made almost a lot of them homeless, no jobs, wandering around the world. Do you know that?
The funny thing is that majority of them liked him for now.
Yes.
Really
See,
hate him.
guy. do you know-
Many of them are eating it, and eventually majority of them will
It
eat
is the
And they will not
influence
speak
of
up
the
for
Western
themselves.
country.
They will say that they are not with these guys alliance.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
I that's what I agree with most of what you just said.
Yeah.
What I am disagreeing with is this putting the blame on the West head.
To
The
me,
Ukraine war.
I don't see
when
any
Russia is the
justification.
one attacking and attacking and
Do
attacking.
you- that's what I'm
How can
saying.
you like
That's what I'm
how can
saying,
somebody
Sontee.
come to your house to stab you
Sontee.
and you will start saying, even if I slapped your sister yesterday, you are in my house, you are stabbing me now, you are knocking on my door, you have knife outside, you want to stab me, and somebody will be outside shouting that, oh, it's the sister's fault, or it's like it's
So
weird.
they have to answer for you. See, I just said
That analogy went
See,
it went
and I thought you
don't
are saying,
mind me.
but see, guy, I just say this war would have avoided. They are, see, guy, political war, see, politics, war, all these things have ways and standards and approaches. Understand? You cannot deal with those kind of matters. You cannot use our kind of fair matter to use it to do those kind of matters. Those matters are delicate matters. Those matters have to be treated differently and smart.
It has to do with life
And death. It's about choices. If that president had said that, okay, yes, I will not join NATO, understand? This war in Ukraine would have been avoided. Just know that. Do you know that before the whole war started? Putin gave him an opinion that he should renounce NATO, understand, and he should step down. But if not because of greed and whatever NATO has promised him, understand, if he was there to serve his people, understand, he would have done the right thing. It's just the way Tinubu, just imagine Tinubu now is selling us out because the US, he wants us to join the USA, and let's say a country like Niger is very strong, and we know that Niger will destroy us, and USA is far from us, and Tinubu is still keep on advocating that he wants us to join the USA. Who is going to suffer?
That's a very smart point.
Who is going to suffer?
Who's going to suffer?
Yes,
we are going to be the biggest.
Imagine from this story now, this particular example now,
Yeah.
is it Tinubu you are going to blame or the USA?
No, like
that's why we are joining the USA.
Why?
Because
why
USA
not
is the founder.
Why the USA?
Because USA is the founder of NATO, and we know the motive of the USA.
Let me tell you something. So
No, you have a bias against the USA. Don't
It's
say
not
you know
about
the
bias.
motive. You have a bias.
See, do you know when I say
You
bias?
understand?
Wait.
Because you're now
I know it's bias against the US.
Yes.
But this is not.
This is not bias. This is
bias.
Because we've actually talked about this, and we put some blame on Putin too.
Yes.
You understand? It's not like he has a total
No,
bias.
if I didn't shout up that nobody was mentioning Russia, we would
My
have
guy,
kept on going
you know
on
why
about how
you
USA
know why
has
people
caused all
blame
the wars
USA?
in the
You know why
world
people
now.
blame USA?
Because that's practically what you said.
You-
That
yes, you know-
USA has caused all the coups in Africa.
Yeah.
And essentially you are trying to say that they are the cause of all the wars. in
Wait,
the
do you
world.
know why we blame USA for this Russia this thing? Just when we blame Russia for that Cuba incident,
No.
it's because
That one, I
wait,
don't believe. This is
wait,
being said retrospectively.
wait,
I don't
let me
believe you
say
would blame
something.
Russia
Let
for
me
that
say
outside of
that
this conversation.
wait, let me just say about this
No, but
conversation.
let's get back to the issue.
Wait,
at hand,
wait.
about
They are
the-
still-
Wait, you
Yeah,
know why I was saying we
yeah.
blame the USA? Understand? Because, guy, if you know something that will hurt someone, understand? It's just like the way I me and you are best friends, understand? And I know the only way to tease you or to check how strong you are is for me to go and take your babe. I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, taking your babe will trigger something from you.
See,
yes
this
or
is
no?
my
Answer
problem.
me. Wait, yes or no?
Let me tell you. the
Yes or no?
problem
Taking your
with
babe
that.
will trigger something.
No. Let me tell you why.
You lie, bro.
Let me tell you why.
Right,
eh?
right,
Because
right.
this is the same problem we're having with this particular conversation. My girlfriend is not my property. My girlfriend has the right to leave me and join you. The same way Ukraine has the right to join NATO. You think there's no benefits to joining NATO? There's reasons why they want to join NATO. It's not as if it's just to look for trouble.
Do you think it is right for any of these two to attack each other, Niger or ECOWAS?
See, war is
I
never
think
a good thing.
that
War is never a good thing.
Personally, honestly, yeah, I agree that war is never a good thing. But I do think that it might be necessary for ECOWAS take
To
action.
invade Niger.
Hopefully, I hope it doesn't come to
Hopefully, it
military
doesn't come to that.
Some
You
military
understand?
action.
The sanctions.
But the thing is,
even
I don't
sanctions,
see it
You
happening.
understand?
Even if the possibility of it happening, I don't see it happening. One is because I feel first our senate are not in support of it.
Guy, the military said they're not going anywhere.
No, the
And
thing is,
two again.
Nigeria, if there's something I know about Nigeria, no typical Nigerian wants to die.
Yes.
Like, they don't want to lose their life. You understand? Like,
Yes. Yes.
no matter how corrupt we are, no matter how
I'll
bad,
just
no matter how
cause.
bad our leadership is, nobody wants to die.
Yeah.
You understand?
But the thing is, my
The only
guy,
reason why we are fighting Boko Haram, trust me, is because those motherfuckers,
They're killing us.
they are invading our country. Normally, we wouldn't say, oh, we want to fight just a group.
but the thing is, my guy, the thing is, what I understand is they are out of war, and they are. It's not about whether you are doing the right thing or not. It's just knowing this is a heart of war. You coming to take my girlfriend is or you coming to take something that I have major control over is a act of war. It's just fact. If you don't know it, it's not. There's nothing
Okay.
about being let's make it, let's do the right thing. But it's just fact. You taking something that I have control over is an act of war. It's you testing how much I can go.
Ask you this question.
Yeah.
Like, let's put aside the fact that Ukraine is an independent country. They are not Russia's property. Let's put aside that.
Independent country, but you know that Russia
let's-
controls the background. Controls them in the background.
If they control them, like they wouldn't have to fight a war to invade Ukraine. If they were actually in control of Ukraine already, like they wouldn't have
That's
to
what
fight
I'm trying to say.
Let's forget that one. Let's forget that one.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that it is right for Nigeria to invade Niger?
That's what I'm trying to say, my guy. Eh?
Just say
in this
ECOWAS.
scenario,
ECOWAS, yes.
in this scenario, understand,
Mhm.
there have to be consequence. It's just like when we are a group of people, we live by a rule, we live by a code. Anybody that goes above or away from the code has to be punished. Understand? Because if there's no punishment, another person will do it. Now, can you know, do you know that this is within the last 8 years, there's been a lot of coup, especially in French colonized country. And trust me, this is going to cause a lot of motivation in other French colony countries that they want to take arms and take their government. After that, before you know, the rest of African countries are going to that. It's not like I'm in support of all this whole thing. Understand? I'm not in support of you. I'm not in support of embracing your oppressor one or in support of war, but doing the right thing. No, I'm glad. Yes, they took the country over military regime, but there's no casualties. The people are behind them. Understand? But then again, you have to think about this aspect that you as a country, you have to know what is good for you and your people. Is it military regime? Is it democracy? Is it communism? You don't need external countries or external factors to tell you this is how you rule your country. That's just fact. Everybody shouts democracy, democracy, democracy. But to me, I think democracy is just like all of us being on a boat where we have a captain that is a sailor and we have a regular guy that everybody likes, and they say let us choose who will ride the boat for us. Everybody will choose the regular guy because they all like him. But he doesn't know how to control the boat. Now,
this analogy.
The question to your
suggests
analogy would be that: do you think the military that is taken over? Do you think they have the right person either?
Do you think they are equipped
now,
to
I
rule the
don't
country?
know, understand? But then I would love to say something. See, for a country to find its path, the country have to find its way. You can't just say this is the right way. No, the country have to go through process.
Has to try different.
Understand? Just try
Yeah.
to go through. Now they be practicing democracy, and look at where they are.
And it's not working.
Understand?
Who says it's not working?
See, for the military,
The stats.
for the
Stats,
militaries.
the latest
But what
stats.
did he say?
The latest stats of Niger's democracy was showing improvement. There was better security.
Let me bust your head.
Mhm.
Now, Niger are one of the highest countries that produce uranium. That's why uranium is a better conductivity of light.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't have light.
Guy, we have petrol, we don't have food.
Wait, I'm just telling you things. I'm just telling you.
Nothing.
Wait,
That is
it's
nothing.
not
No,
nothing.
what you are
It's
saying,
not
what you are
nothing.
doing is what about?
Yes, they're covering
Like,
major
no,
problems.
like that.
See,
That has like it has nothing to do with
So
this
it
argument.
has
That's
a
what I'm
lot
saying.
of
Let us get
things
to the
you
root of what
wait now.
Okay.
That's a lot of things. That's one of those
Okay,
things.
let's get to
Now
that.
they're saying they are taking a major turn in this thing. Now look at all the things, the natural resources. Do you know the total money they get from these things when they sell it or when they do trade? They get a lot of money. But look at their GDP. Their GDP is not close to $1 billion. It's maybe $1 million. That is very bad for a country with a lot of resources. So what's the improvement there? This trip for the armies.
Should I tell you what
For
the
the armies
was?
to go and pick up guns, whether they are trained by foreign allies or foreign countries, that means they needed change. The democracy is not working. The aids these people are bringing for, the aids that these people are bringing is not touching the people only. It's touching a certain group.
Let me
You
touch
wanted to
2
say
points.
something.
Let me touch 2 points. First of all, the main reason that I believe very strongly why Nigerian troops have been trained by the US is because the US is under the attack of the insurgency of Islamic State, Al Qaeda, and Boko Haram. Islamic State and Al Qaeda are both enemies of the United States. So that I think is perfect explanation why the US would want to train the Nigerian military. So that one is that. Where the improvements have been in recent years, not recent years, I think it was just this year. Let me finish.
Do you know that the leader of the Al Qaeda or the ISIS was trained by the USA? You think I'm like, go and Google it. Continue. Continue.
Like the the improvement
Let's talk
has
about
been
first
in
flags.
the security. In that particular area of the terrorist groups that are sieging Niger, that has been where improvement has. The drast stats has shown a great drop in attacks. There was something like the stats I read was like a 39% drop in casualties from terrorist attacks in the latest stats. So that is an improvement. Then Nigeria's problem. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm hearing you.
I'm not saying that there's no, like, the people are not happy in Niger. That's not what I'm saying. Niger is in a lot of problems. There's that security issue. There's economic. But you remember the states that the world is in right now. The world is fucked economically. It's not just Niger.
Yeah.
So obviously it's affecting them as well.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that is why, like, the things are as bad as, like, of course they're happy now that the person that they think is the cause of all their problem has been ousted. But what happens when, as all African fucking military leaders do, the military leaders they start destroying their country?
Alright, you know what?
I understand you, and I know where you are coming from. Just like when we had our own coup and saw how things was going for us, I understand you very well. Say something.
So you know what, Yasa, concerning this Niger issue now, Yasa, what are your thoughts on it? Like now, since we are against, obviously, you understand, we are against ECOWAS military intervention on Niger, you understand?
I'm not
No, really. See, that's one thing when Africa agree.
Yes, because there have to be punishment. There have to be
Also,
We have to
consequences.
stop this
hold
thing.
on. You understand? We can all of us can agree that war is not a good thing.
Yeah.
That was why I made that statement.
Yeah.
War is not a good thing.
Yeah.
You understand?
Definitely.
Nobody's praying for war. Because war is really bad for mankind or for
War is bad for anything.
Yeah.
You get my point. So now the thing is that since war is not an option, and now the people are not ready to relinquish the power at which they have ascertained or they have gotten, you understand? So do you feel sanction now will do a better job?
Now
at
see
it
what
or
I'm talking about now. Now see, when we talk about sanction, now you see that one of the steps that Nigerian president did was to go against the treaty. Understand? Because there's already an act of war already. Going against the treaty is one, is disconnecting the light supply to Niger. That is very bad. Whenever you go break a treaty, especially a treaty that has gone for like 50 years, that means that you cannot trust that country. But there's a good reason to go against it. Now, if ECOWAS want to sanction sanction Niger, there are many ways to sanction them without even going to war. They can give them economic sanction. They can give them boundary sanction. They can give them no-fly zone sanction.
They've already done those.
That's enough for us going to sacrifice ourselves to go and start fighting for them and killing people and dragging power and give to democracy again.
So want to fight for them and carry the president and sit down.
I don't want.
This is your
No.
But the problem with those sanctions is they take a lot of time. That's why there was the military threats, just to expedite things. But I feel part of the problem with that military threat is because I think we can all agree. Hopefully, we are not wrong by the time you guys are watching this thing. Like Nigeria is not going to invade Niger. You understand? That threat that Tinubu made with his own mouth on TV for everybody, it makes us look weak.
No,
why are you threatening what you are not going to?
No, see, I need you to understand something. Understand? To me, I don't blame Tinubu because do you know that you are not in his position? Do you know why? Because you are not the president of a country like Nigeria that is seen as a giant or always has to be the forefront runner of anything. Understand? And a chairman of ECOWAS. Understand now? President Tinubu is under enormous pressure. Understand? Do you know that a lot of peacekeeping in Africa, Nigeria has been one of the forerunners of it. Understand? Now, for him making that statement is the right thing for a leader to do. That okay, see you have gone against our code of conduct. Now there are severe punishments. There are severe things you have to that comes with. Understand? It's the best thing to do.
Not if you are not going to carry out that severe punishment.
Do you know why he cannot carry it out? It's because he has the Senate. Now the Senate are the only people that approves the war. But what he did was the best thing to do. I don't think I'm talking about.
Disagree.
Understand?
I say consult the Senate first. And see
Consulting-
whether you have the military to
consulting-
before you make this threat.
About what he said.
Consulting
about what
on
he
us.
said.
Understand?
I have a point.
He is also ECOWAS chairman. Understand? He has to be the forerunner
You
of
have to
everything.
streamline
the
these
thing
things.
the thing is about
See.
what he's saying, you understand? There's something that happened within the start of
Yeah.
when this Ukraine war started. You understand? If you remember very well, if you were watching the media or the news outlet, there were things like that the president of America, Joe Biden, was saying some things that were out of the script that they gave to him. There was a time that he even said that, for God's sake, why won't you remove the president of Russia? I don't know whether you watched that. So he said so many things that they know that it won't happen.
Some of it is just
they just saying it from their mind. It's not that
it's just
no. This is you're not talking about a press conference where somebody has come to address people and tell them that you people should remove.
When people said it was he was addressing.
Yes, it was
the same way with
Biden.
Yes, he did it.
He did not give any orders. He did not give any.
It's not
an ultimatum. Tinubu gave Sundays. Today is Sunday.
Yes, he said 7 days.
Tinubu said by today,
yes,
if they don't remove Niamey, that we are going to invade.
Yes.
And it's not going to happen. We all know it's not going to happen.
Yes.
How does that make Nigeria look?
Yes. Whether it makes Nigeria look or not, but it has given them that fear that yes, we can do something. See, my guy.
This is my point.
My guy.
My guy.
Let me tell you something.
Say that we can make threats and we can't do
anything. Whether
anything.
they send it back to Tinubu or not, if Tinubu gives them a reason that see you understand this war, we have to. You know why the things are not going. You know why they say it are skeptical right now. They say it are really skeptical because this war at this time, or where the economy is still going through changes. We cannot be funding this kind of war. Understand? This is one of the reasons. 2 again, it's not really like it has not really gotten to the extent where we need to invade. Understand? But trust me, if there is a real reason whereby the Senate know that yes, we have to go to war. I'm telling you the truth. I bet you, if it is today, those people, those armies, we're going to go. Let me tell you something. The president is the chief commander of the force. Not the Senate. Know that. The Senate just backs.
Do you know that the security chiefs of Nigeria are saying they're not going anywhere Tinubu is going?
They did not say it out. Well, you read it, but they did not say it out.
Okay, so
because why?
Yes, I agree.
Because why? Because the president is the chief service.
Yes.
But the president.
What happens when rumors like that start spreading?
Those rumors are my guy. Rumors are meant to just.
See,
rumors are meant to
takes one day for a coup to happen. No.
That's it. Do you know if you encourage coups like this? Do you know that if you encourage coups like this, coups and more coups will start happening?
This is what
do you know when after the whole coup, do you know the president had to change chief of staff? Are you aware of that? And he told all the chief of staff
he changed all the chief of staff.
And he told them to reaffirm their commitment in keeping democracy. Why? Because this coup is a great challenge to African countries. If you don't do the right thing, my guy, these militaries are cooking. They will just.
You're not understanding my point because what you are saying is supporting my point. Like they will wipe you. What you are saying is supporting my point. Tinubu now looks weak.
It doesn't look weak.
There are rumors. I'm a Nigerian in Nigeria.
Tinubu
looks weak. Should I tell you why?
Is Tinubu weak?
Should I tell you why? There are now rumors in Tinubu's country. There are now rumors in this Nigeria that I have heard and you have heard, and I'm sure you have heard. I don't know if that the military are saying no to their commander-in-chief.
My guy.
How does that make him look?
My guy. See, my guy, there are rumors, but did you see them coming out say it? Good. Wait, I understand where you are coming from.
Did you hear anything about the coup in Niger before it happened?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
They will not tell you in public.
Wait, that's what I'm trying to tell you, my guy. See, my guy, see something. See, if there's a reason, see what Tinubu did, okay, was it's just like I told you. I give an example. We are in a group. We are code and conduct. That's just like a court, and one person goes against it. The leader of the court is forced as a leader to make a statement or forced to call the person and give him threats, whether the people back him or not. Why? Because this is a code of conduct that everybody have to live. Or I don't even have to talk about banking. Understand? It has to be done.
Not like that.
How do you want it to do? To wait that first conduct the Senate first.
If you're going to make a military threat, make sure the military is behind you.
Do you know that the president can start an act of war even without the Senate backings? Do you know that?
But you can't do it without the military backing.
Why do you call the president chief commander of? If the president says
that it is rumored that the military are rejecting his chief, whatever.
If Tinubu tell them Tinubu have said to go and launch a bank, carry the this and go and launch this in Sokoto. Understand? You Tinubu tell them to invade Niger today, they don't burn any of them to say no. Do you think I'm lying?
It's when
Am I lying?
He can control the military.
Can he?
He will.
By law,
He can. By law.
It's just that he can't
Like,
control the.
A coup is not a
Wait,
legal
wait.
thing. You are saying by law.
He
Coup is
can't
not legal.
control the old army, but he can control a fraction of the army.
A large faction.
No, the
that
fraction. Like, I'm not too sure.
Large faction
of the
the
fraction.
Navy.
But he can control a fraction of the army. Why? Because he's the chief of the army.
Chief staff.
Yes.
He's the chief of
Chief
the army.
is
Like,
chief-
he's
chief
the
commander, chief
he has the
commander.
toughest
Yes.
position.
Chief commander.
But his chief commandership
Now-
requires, it depends on the
If the-
loyalty
now,
of those
where-
that
where-
are actually
where-
in the
Yeah, they are
military.
loyal to
Wait,
him.
How do you
wait,
know?
Because they came on. See, guy. See,
They
They
didn't.
have
They
signed
didn't.
when they enter
If
the
I-
military,
if I wait,
they have
wait.
signed.
Yes.
But there's something-
Did you not hear the rumors that they are saying that they are not going to any war?
Yeah, so we're going to
Am I the only one that
we're
hear
going to
these
rumors
things?
now. We are going to be listening to rumors now.
No, if you
I will take you rumors
if
for
you are
facts.
assuming they
I
are
will take you
loyalty,
rumors for facts.
no, I'm
These are
telling you
armies. These are
that
armies
if you are
that
putting
these are
doubt,
armies that came to be affirmed on TV. New chief staff. They are changing the chief staff, chief service staff. They changed all of them. He changed them
said
and
this
replaced
before,
them,
they don't
and
negate
then
any
he
of my points.
affirmed it. See,
It doesn't
you only
negate
tell me
anything I'm
that
saying.
you only tell me that we are taking rumors as facts. If the president tell them
It
that,
is-
once the president to tell them that, the only Tinubu tell them and say, okay, you are CEO, go and attack, and they come out and say, no, we're not attacking. Wait, then you say, yes. They disobeyed him. But since they've not disobeyed him, after you don't have to go and wait in the border, and they went. So what? Nobody wants the war, my guy. Even the president doesn't want the war. Understand? But there are consequences. There are dire consequences.
like I'm not sure you're getting my point because I've never disagreed with you. Well, I told you this is the point that me and you agree.
Yeah.
That there should be
The point
consequences
is, Tinubu make
for
a
Niger.
weak
Yes,
decision.
he's making us
To
look
me,
weak.
no.
Do you know that now the leverage is on the side of the Nigerians?
Ah,
Now they have the mouth. They are the ones to make the next move because we have
Yeah,
made
yeah,
our
let me
move
pause there.
and our move was a
Let me
blow.
pause there. Let me pause there. Do you know that in terms of military strength, we are stronger 3 times
Everybody knows
better
that.
than the Nigerians.
Everybody knows
Do you know if
that.
you
But
want-
Niger is not fighting alone. You know that.
We know that they
Uh-huh.
have the Wagners, but let me tell you the truth.
Not just the
Let me
Wagner.
tell you
They
the
also have 3 other nations.
Let me tell you the truth. Do you know
backing
that
them.
whether they have the
Nigeria
Wagners
has
or
the
what?
ECOWAS.
See, my guy, whether they have the Wagners or not, do you know that? But you know whether they have when Nigeria have the Wagners or what? But if the Westerns, which the Westerns have also backed the ECOWAS, decide to join us, do you know that Americans will oust them? As Americans, you know that ECOWAS will oust Niger, and they will go there and invade that country, and they will take power back to democracy. Do you know that?
When you say the Westerners, I thought you said that the US was in support of this.
That's now we're talking about a theory part.
Anyway, sorry, that was just a tangent.
We
But,
built
like,
up to this point.
It
you
makes
understand?
like
I'm just telling you
I
facts.
agree that
But we
Nigeria
don't want
is in
this
a
war.
more powerful position.
Yeah, but we don't want this
But
war.
now, it looks like we came and said, "You people should get out. You people should get out," and they just stood and looked at us, and we now turned
Alright,
and walked
hold on,
away.
hold on,
Does that not
hold
look
on.
weak?
But we're not going to turn away.
Hold on.
We have
Hello.
We haven't.
Hold on.
We haven't.
What do you suggest we do now? Like, for what
Forget
you are
suggest.
do what?
Forget suggest. But we haven't backed away
Everything
from
here,
the war.
we
Go
are
and check
about
it.
perspective.
I watched the news yesterday. The borders are still waiting for the
Guys,
next instruction from the president.
Sunday,
If the president,
6th has reached.
I know it's
Our
not 7 days.
ultimatum has
7
reached.
days.
Yes, this is today.
Yes, I'll calm down.
It's today.
Calm down. See my guy. My
What
guy.
he's saying is I should
Whatever-
stick to the what you say.
What-
That's what you say.
Whatever, see, the 7 days ultimatum is from the ECOWAS, not just Nigeria, and other countries.
Came out of the mouth of Tinubu.
Yes, because he is the chairman of ECOWAS.
So what are we
If
doing?
Tinubu is speaking, he's not speaking just for Nigeria, he's speaking because why? He's the chairman of ECOWAS.
Yeah.
So whatever he's
I
saying
didn't
is
say-
not just from the aspect of
So,
only
okay,
Nigeria wants to go to war.
continue.
Understand? That is not only Nigeria wants to go to war, but other countries that are part of ECOWAS are going to the war with. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So do you want me to change it and say, okay, it makes ECOWAS look weak? Does that make you feel?
If you say so, but then I won't agree because why? He is in that position as a leader to be the first in charge, to charge up
Have you-
with something.
Well, wait.
See, I'm telling you something, my guy. Yes, I agree that nobody wants this war. Understand? But if there's a reason for us to go to war with these people, my guy, we will go to war.
Well, have you considered the possibility that him saying that was as a result of the meeting that the ECOWAS has had?
Yes,
Then
you know
he
that.
came out. to
And
say-
you are you aware that
Have you
they did
considered
a
that
meeting in
possibility?
Abuja? Yes. And you're aware that they went for
Yes,
meeting.
I should say that.
Yes, he's the leader.
Yes, he's the leader.
So why does he make him weak?
As a leader, can you not say that?
No,
Is he not the leader? He cannot not say that. Sontee doesn't
They can decide not to
He
say
he
it.
can decide not to say it if
And only
if he comes out and say he's in support of the military coup.
No, you don't have. They're already sanctioning these people. You don't have
No,
to
no, no,
support
I'm
the
saying
military coup for you not to
The only
make
time you
a
cannot-
fake threat.
The only time you
Don't
cannot
blow.
support
That's my only point here.
ECOWAS decision is when you say, okay, I'm in support of this coup.
you see that you are with this side or
You know, there's no standing in the fence. You don't hear Guinea. You don't hear Algeria. Algeria say a invasion from ECOWAS is a threat on us too.
Wait.
Because when Algeria shares boundary with who? Niger. Understand? It's everything. So it's the decision. It's an enormous decision that as long as I'm in ECOWAS, understand? As long as we live by this code of conduct, these principles, anybody that goes against it has to face the consequences.
But wait, Niger, are they under military rule or they are under democracy?
They are before democracy, but
Right
now.
now they are under
military coup.
Algeria.
Yeah.
No,
Niger.
You said
I
Niger.
mean Algeria.
No,
Algeria
Algeria
is
is
support of
democracy.
Niger.
Yes.
Algeria is
Yes.
democracy.
Yes, we are supposed to be yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And Algeria is not part of ECOWAS.
ECOWAS.
I know.
Understand?
Algeria is part of the Arab.
Yes. So you have to
Not
so
now.
for you know that Cameroon is part of this the support of this coup.
You know what?
For
you
you
know
not to for you to come out and say no, I don't want us for Tinubu to say the opposite of what he said, that means he's in support of
It is
But
not-
wait, you understand?
You're not getting me.
So
I didn't
far.
say the opposite. Don't make it threat.
He cannot
Don't
do
make
without
it
making
threat
a
unless you are going
threat.
to attack.
why can't he do it down?
Because these are see, do you know that this okay, you tell me you're in that prepared position to do this. These are affairs of nation. If where you manage this kind of affairs is different from personal matter. See, now for you to be, do you know what it means to be a leader? Do you know what it means to take for you to be a chief service commander? I'm not saying it. Okay, for you to make decisions, for you to whether the criticism and all, for you to stand on that decision and say, okay, yes, I have said it. I was going by it.
But-
Understand? It doesn't mean
That's the opposite of what he's doing.
Wait,
he
wait.
said it and he's not going by it.
wait now, calm down. Now, when you are in that certain
Let me just drop this bomb.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They might go by it because I just read something.
Yes.
But so
Wait,
far,
Today's the 6th though.
but so far, what has AU said
No,
about it?
that is not. It's
Me,
not
I've
the
read it, and that
ultimatum.
from
That
AU.
it's not the ultimatum.
AU
that
is the one that met with Putin now. Like,
AU
I
is the
don't
one
think
that
anything
met
has
with
happened after
So
that.
my
Like,
guy,
AU has
he
not
met
said
with
anything.
Putin.
Yeah. African Union.
So my guy, so what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
my guy,
I think that's the most recent.
That was
thing
very
I've heard from
promising.
them.
If AU
Free
met
grain
with
exports.
Putin, you understand, and Putin is in support of Niger, then what are we talking about here?
It's not all the. It was 15.
That was
countries.
like the
It's
first
not
part
the
of
whole
the
AU.
conversation. We were talking about could it be American backed or Russian backed?
yeah. So what is what I'm trying to say is, guy, when you're in that position, guy, you don't have to be seen as weak. You don't have to be seen as someone that is being intimidated. If Tinubu comes out and tell you that, okay, how do you expect him to say, okay, yes, I'm just saying, for example, yes, there's a military coup in Niger now. Okay, we are Niger now. We're sitting on what to do, but we'll not take actions yet because no, you have to come.
Yeah, like military action is not off the table. Very simple. Not make a threat. Don't
You
give an
have to,
ultimatum.
my guy.
Military
Look
action
at
is
all
not
the
till you
leaders
have
in
finished
the
all your
world.
consultation
My guy,
before you
look at
come
all
and
the
make an
great leaders in
announcement.
the world. See, guy, it's for you to be a leader, you have to be assertive, you have to be decisive, you have to. See, you don't need to be standing in front of intimidation. See,
You are talking about a tyrant, not a leader.
it's not forget
a leader
the
consult.
tyrant. Forget
leader consult.
He has consulted.
No.
He has
Even the
consulted.
Canadian PM.
He has
A leader
consulted.
consult.
Trudeau was making a threat some time ago about the people that didn't take vaccines
Yes.
in Canada.
Yes.
And he didn't have to make
Yes.
the threat. Now I support your point that Tinubu didn't have to make the threat as well because he's all for peace. Why is he making the threat?
Yeah.
Why is he trying to like instigate something when there's nothing? It's just a discussion, right? But I'm just telling you that by that logic, everybody's a tyrant. If you think making a threat
But
makes you
then,
a tyrant,
I
You
think
should know that.
everybody's a
You should
tyrant.
know that before
And
Tinubu come and make that
most
decision.
leaders have the choice not to make threats.
Yes,
It's not the threat.
See,
that
my
Niger
guy,
is making
for
at
him
the
to
time.
come
It's
and
the
make that
fact that
decision.
You've not consulted your people. The
It's
military
not
that you want
about
to-
consulting, my guy. For him to come and make that threat, he met with ECOWAS. You know there been ongoing meeting with ECOWAS. It was
Guy.
after the meeting. See, Tinubu speaking there is not just him speaking for Nigeria. He's also speaking for other ECOWAS countries, saying that this is the decision we made back door. That okay, everybody is in support of okay, yes, so if anything does not happen in the next 7 days, we are going to attack. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So-
it's a decision made from back door
So-
as a leader. If Tinubu was not the chairman of ECOWAS, it would be that another person that's the chairman of ECOWAS making that
So
bold statement.
when the Senate says, "Guy, fuck you and your order,"
My guy,
who
the Senate
is
is not-
then in charge of
My
anything?
guy, you know
who
what
is the Tinubu
My
that
guy.
it doesn't have mouth again?
My guy,
that the Senate
you
can
know
say,
what you are
"Fuck you,
saying?
guy, we're not
the
going
Senate
anywhere."
did not say fuck
What
you.
did they say?
The Senate,
They said no.
The Senate, yes. The Senate, did you read the reasons?
They said no.
Yes, but did you read the
They
reasons?
said no.
Yes, but did you read the reasons? See, before you say something, read the reasons. Now, the Senate said no because we are not in that. We're not financially. We're not coming out from
Tinubu.
a economic downturn.
The reason-
We're not going to finance that thing. But
The
then,
reason I wasn't
but then,
consulted-
no, my guy, this is the
If
I
Tinubu
want
had
the news yesterday.
consulted with his people,
My guy.
he would have known those reasons
My
before
guy.
he made his stupid threats.
See my
That
guy.
is my point.
See my statement. See my guy. I was watching the news yesterday. And this was the whole analysis from the Senate. Yes, we're not going to do the war. I'm not in support of a war now. Understand? There are still time for peacekeeping now. I say peacekeeping, diplomatic talks and everything. But then, if there's any necessary need, this is the analysis I watched from news yesterday. There's any necessary need for us to go to war, we are in full support.
Why didn't Tinubu say that?
Because Tinubu
Because
was
Tinubu did not consult with his people.
Banky, can you tell that Tinubu just finished consulting with ECOWAS, and ECOWAS is a unified decision. Tinubu cannot just come out and say something on the news without having consulted with this president and have okay, this is what we are going to stand on, that we are going to attack. And mind you, it's not just Tinubu that said this. France, America, UN have said yes, invade these people. If they don't,
Did they say,
yes.
did they say if you don't leave this country now, we're going to invade? Did they give any threats?
Hear me well.
No, just say no.
Wait, hear me well. They said they are in support of ECOWAS in invading these people.
ECOWAS is their mouthpiece.
Yes, it's the mouthpiece.
Yeah,
He's saying what they have want
Yeah.
to do, not
Let me
just
understand.
a
That's
Nigeria
like
country.
this
That's how diplomacy.
Like that's
Yes.
what I'm saying. This is the problem
Because-
with that. Why, like, if the leaders of ECOWAS all gather together and make a decision,
Yeah.
and that decision can be undermined by the Nigerian Senate, then what the fuck is the point of the decision?
It's not undermined by the Nigerian Senate. You don't understand this thing. See,
You don't understand.
wait, let me explain it for you, my guy. It is because Nigeria Senate say no doesn't mean that ECOWAS cannot still go to war. Let me tell you something. Even Nigeria Senate say yes, they're not going to pronounce war. ECOWAS can still go to war. Why? Because it's a war not just Nigeria against Niger. It's a war ECOWAS against
Which
Niger.
which of them?
Understand?
Which
Yes,
of them?
Nigeria will be going to war.
Which
All
of-
of them.
no,
But
which of
most
them?
will be backing
If it's
from
not Nigeria,
all
which of
ECOWAS
them?
countries. Understand?
Which
When
of
ECOWAS wait,
them
now make a topic.
now?
All ECOWAS country, UN. In fact, UN said I was watching the news yesterday. UN said they will send troops to the borders of Niger.
Who-
Not just only UN said it.
Who gets
Wait
mad?
to calm down.
Who
France
gets mad?
said they will not take their troops away from Niger. Now, mind you, Niger has given France 30 days to leave the country. But France said no, we will not leave because we did not make an agreement with this current government. Made an agreement with Mohamed Bazoum to concerning Uganda. I will not leave it. I will going to stay on the border, which is an act of war. Understand? Now I want to get something. It's not about being a leader. You have to come out and say no, no. But mind you, we sitting at the table. There have to be decision. They have to be voting. It's just like us having like 4 or 5. Me as a leader, I can say no, you're not attacking people, these people. But if 4 people say yes, attack, the decision has been made.
No.
I'm coming.
No,
I don't
not
know
if
what
the
I'm
decision requires my military.
I don't
my
think
military
he
is
gets what I'm
saying
talking
no.
about. Except
You are
if
not
I
understanding
get what you're
what I'm
talking
saying.
about.
Except if
Like,
I
Nigeria.
also disagree with
I also get what
that's
you're
saying.
my point is not disagreeing
Except-
with your own.
Except if Nigeria does not join ECOWAS anymore. Before Tinubu can come out and say
No, wait.
no, I'm not
no,
supporting
Vicky,
this.
I
It's not
don't
the same.
think it works
That's
that
not
way.
the same.
I get your point.
Yeah.
That when there is a majority vote,
Yeah.
yes, the decision is carried on.
Yeah.
Like now, let's say for instance, ECOWAS decides that they should vote whether there should be force on Niger or not, and then let's say 30 to like 15 people.
Yeah.
30 votes say yes, 15 people say 15 countries say no.
Yeah.
Now, Nigeria is part of the countries saying yes.
Yeah.
It's obvious from what Tinubu
Yes,
has
yes,
said.
yes, yes.
Nigeria is part of the
Yes,
countries
definitely,
saying
yes.
So it's not just majority votes. It's not just ECOWAS saying yes. But Nigeria as a country and Tinubu being the leader of ECOWAS.
Good.
Is in support. Now, if Nigeria votes no, in that case, Nigeria wouldn't be making the threat it's making.
Now, I want to ask.
That's where I agree with
yes,
Sontee.
and I want to ask you one question. Understand? If Nigeria say no, understand? We qualify Nigeria to still be part of ECOWAS.
That is now
yes,
where I'm
because
getting to. That's where I'm
countries
getting to.
said no.
That's where I'm getting to.
That countries.
So countries,
if
and
then countries part of ECOWAS.
Is there no country in
ECOWAS.
Is there no country in ECOWAS that said no?
No countries in ECOWAS said no.
How do you know that?
Because I have followed this to
You were in the meeting.
It is out there. All the countries in ECOWAS said
Me,
yes.
I don't believe those
There are some countries
all
hello.
wanted
There are some
it
countries
yes.
in ECOWAS.
No, but
that are
It is
already
a
under
French
military rule.
and British backed.
Yes.
Yes,
I know why.
when you think of it, that will just know that there will be interest. There will be negotiations.
I understand.
And imagine if you as a leader of the country now, and Britain or let's say the United Nations promise that they are going to send so amount of billions of dollars off record.
Yes.
Off record, because we all know that they are off record deals.
Yes, definitely.
You understand? We are not children. We know they are off record deals.
Which something might not be.
Between the Western countries and African countries. So off record, they say that they are going to give you so billions as aid for free if you just vote yes at that meeting.
Yes.
The first thing
I believe
the only thing you are thinking about is yes.
I believe you.
You understand?
Yes, I believe you. Do you know why I believe you?
That's the only way
I
to buy
believe
African
you. Yes, because
countries.
you know ECOWAS.
I believe
That's why
that.
I told Sontee that yes, if you look at all the countries that is in support of this war, they are all ECOWAS countries. Now, all the countries that don't support this war, right? Like Guinea, Mali. You know that Mali, Burkina Faso were part of ECOWAS, but they're not in part. They're not part of ECOWAS. Good, thank you. And they don't support the war. Now that I'm saying something that if Tinubu comes out and say he doesn't support the war, one, it will jeopardize his position as a leader. Let's be serious and let's be factuous. And let's be realistic. It will jeopardize his position as a leader, as chief of ECOWAS, chief chairman of ECOWAS, and president of Nigeria. And again, it will not give
if us. It doesn't go ahead with it.
Yes, it will not give us a solid ground on ECOWAS. Do you agree on me or yes?
I only agree with your second point.
You're not
they might not have a solid
against
point.
the point.
Because all the other countries are saying yes. Sorry. Good. All the other countries are saying yes. So it could only mean one thing. Nigeria leaves ECOWAS and just becomes a friendly alliance with Niger.
But that is not a point that I have made at all.
The tricky part.
So that's not what you're arguing.
That's what I'm trying to let you
You're
know.
arguing against a point I'm not making.
No,
But
but
the tricky part is that how long will it take for Nigeria to attack with this decision? And me, I feel it will take so long and it will take so much tension that it might not result to war.
Yeah, me, I feel as I said it, I see the war booming, I see the war building. But then the war that is building is backed by external influence. Trust me, Nigeria don't want to attack Niger. Understand? But as Bank said, there is pressure from external American France. So that's what I'm talking about. To do it. If you might say it because you're not in this position, but trust me, my guy, it's not easy for someone like Tinubu right now because he's receiving a lot of enormous pressure. You might say yes, he's the president, but mind you, he's also a woman. Pressure will make him make some certain decisions.
He's the one that's been pursuing the power.
Yes,
so
I understand. I understand.
Tinubu has been pursuing. He wanted to be the
ECOWAS.
He wanted
I understand.
power.
But I want
if
you to understand.
Take the pressure, why are you there?
But I want you to understand that. Whatever decision he is making is either influence, understand, or pressure from all these external factors. If Tinubu decides to say no, and let me tell you what will happen. Let me just tell you what will happen. Let me tell you what will happen.
Again, you're arguing against my point I'm not making.
Wait,
I didn't say that Tinubu should say
you said it's making weak. Understand?
I said
don't make an empty threat. That is my
That
only
to me,
point.
I don't see it as an empty threat because he has the backing of ECOWAS. One. And two, I'm telling you one, I'm making a statement that if Tinubu decides to say no to whatever agreement ECOWAS have made on that table, as a chairman, one, to jeopardize his position as a chairman, that's it will motivate the coups around the African country. Wait till
These are
calm
things that
down.
we have already
know.
agreed.
And three, let me tell you one thing. Yeah, you know that Tinubu became president with a lot of irregularities and everything, understand? But when bust your head, if Tinubu says no, do you know that America, there's a case within America that said he had to pay some money to about drugs and everything that they seized from him, that he paid money to Tinubu. One American case that they seized some drugs with him that was in court, that Obi took him to court with that American.
No, they didn't get evidence.
There was no evidence, but there was a
There
case.
was a civil case.
There's a
that
case.
came up.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. And there was a document that America found him innocent, that he collected
Yeah,
a certain amount of money.
he paid money.
Now,
that was
very
how it
busted.
was.
You know, if you go against, you might think it's a lie, but if you go against external influence, that have strong influence with you, against you, that have strong influence in your country, especially. Let me tell you the truth, it's not easy for you in that country anymore as a president. If you're in control of that power, you'll be surprised, you'll be surprised that there will be a major coup in Nigeria if Tinubu says no.
Coup?
Yeah.
In Nigeria?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
You might think so, but you know why I say coup? To be backed by external influence. Because one, it will cause
I think you undermine Nigerian power.
I don't undermine Nigerian power, but I think you guys undermine external factors.
No, I think.
Let me tell you something. In Africa, when it comes to military, Nigeria is the strongest.
I know, yeah.
But it's not just the military.
Yeah.
You have to understand. Nigeria kind of dominates in African international.
Yeah.
In the African sense. Like
Yeah.
when they are talking about diplomats.
Yeah.
And you know, the fact that they made Tinubu the chairman is not a coincidence. You understand?
Thank you.
And they can't just remove him for saying no. Tinubu is powerful enough to actually influence African countries to join in his decision.
Yeah.
And that is from what I've read about the guy. Because
Yeah,
let me tell you
what
something.
influence politicians
Tinubu
in Africa.
has been a driving factor right from time.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
been
one of the
controlling.
most powerful
He's been
politicians
controlling
in
diplomats
Africa.
Yeah.
internationally.
Yeah.
And he can make some of these countries benefit from Nigeria. Because let's be honest, Nigeria has a lot to give out to
Yeah,
African
you're right.
countries.
Yeah.
This subsidy removal, you think he just removed it?
No.
African countries around us are gaining.
Yeah, true.
The people, they are supplying oil to their countrymen, but they are buying from Nigeria.
Yeah.
They are buying at the cheap price
Cheaper
and
price.
then selling it expensive in their countries.
Yeah.
Now,
That was
that was just before the removal of the
Yeah.
subsidy. Now that is just oil. We don't know whatever other thing, but I'm sure this guy has a hold on African countries.
Yeah.
You understand?
Bro, to me,
He's
I love
powerful.
I love
That's-
him. That's why when you say you seem weak, I was like, no, man, you don't respect this man enough.
He
That's why I
doesn't
was
seem weak,
offended.
but now,
Because of that
driving to
decision,
my point.
understand?
Yeah.
But I want you to
Driving
understand.
to my point, Western influence
Yeah.
over those other African countries.
Yeah.
When Tinubu, and remember, Nigeria has an influence in one African country or the other. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I know.
But Rwanda, Nigeria supported Rwanda. During the war, Nigeria provided security troops and was one of the
Driving force.
for Rwanda to gain independence.
Yes.
You say as much shit
Even
as you
South
want.
Africa.
You can say as much shit as you want about Nigeria
No.
externally.
But
Nigeria has a
with a platform
than
internationally.
African
Yeah.
countries that me, I personally believe that if there's Western influence against Nigeria, African countries will rise to the side of Nigeria.
True.
Most African countries,
True.
even South Africa.
True.
Now, during apartheid, Nigeria supported
Do you know that?
the revolution
Yes.
of the black South Africa.
And do you know that Nigeria?
And you know that-
Yes,
Nigeria
we're paying
supported-
salary.
You know, most
We're paying their
South Africans
salary.
are still
We're cutting
xenophobic
out of
against
our
Nigeria.
salaries.
When Ghana was facing
part of the
crisis,
country, man.
before the
I love
Ghana
Nigeria,
must
my
go
country.
issue, before the Ghana must go issue,
Yeah.
let's be honest, Nigeria empowers Ghanaians.
Yes, but
There
now
might be that
we're talking
tension
about
between
today.
Nigeria and
Yeah, we're
Ghana.
talking about today.
But me, I still believe, say deep down, there's
It's
enough
painful.
Nigerians there
Yeah.
in Ghana to drive decisions to the way Nigerians want.
I don't think I agree with that.
But
I agree with you,
but back to my point, most African countries are actually going to stay on Nigeria's side.
Yeah, I think we do have a great influence in Africa.
Yeah, we have.
But I don't think maybe not as much as you're saying, to be honest. Like
Bro,
South Africa.
Bro, we have the biggest influence.
South Africa doesn't
No,
like.
you're talking about
Nigeria.
development. Forget development.
No, I'm not talking
Why
about
do you
love.
say
I'm
that
talking
South
about
Africa?
love.
Why do you say
It's
that
not
South
something
Africa?
don't get.
Wait,
It's not
South
something
Africa does not
don't
remember when
Why do you
Nigeria
say
They are
South
indebted
Africa?
to
Why?
Nigeria. You don't
Wait,
understand.
guy.
They are indebted to
South Africa is indebted to us.
How? And how are they paying
bros.
us back? Is it
Yeah,
like
you have
empty
to
and charging
understand.
Nigerians more than everybody else?
No,
Oh,
see,
wow. Or
see,
Shoprite
do you
that
think,
is
do you
extorting
think I
us?
will help you in a
Are we
I will
paying for
provide?
DSTV?
Thank you.
Do you think I will
I get what
help
you
you
guys are saying.
as a leader, and you're also a leader in your country? Do you think I will just come to your country, help you in a war, help you succeed, and I won't be taking?
And
There
pay-
won't be
and
some
pay your-
sort of
and pay your
support
staff.
That is what I'm saying.
And pay your
Where
staff.
is the evidence?
No,
of
that
that?
we're paying.
You will
Are you
see
not
the
seeing how
evidence.
South Africa
You will
is
see
treating
the-
us
you will
today?
see- no, you
No,
will
no,
see
guys,
the
forget that
evidence
news. No,
when
those are
we
xenophobia
their
news.
actual help. Because let me
That's
tell you
xenophobia
something.
news.
With that xenophobia news, even though it was exaggerated.
It was
I don't know if
exaggerated,
you
yes, it
noticed,
was.
Look, I'm not
it
even
was.
talking about
It
that.
was
I'm talking
exaggerated.
about their policy,
But-
their
but-
business way of treating Nigeria,
Let's be honest.
and their policies.
Let's
of
be honest,
Nigerians.
a lot of Nigerians have made so much money off South African businesses.
True.
Yeah.
You
That we
understand?
don't-
And
we
the way
just
we
don't know.
treat them isn't all that fair. The way we treat their businesses
Yeah.
isn't all that fair.
True.
You think they are making the most money, but if you know wetin Nigerian government has
No,
collected
honestly, from them.
then you know that it's not all that fair.
See, my guy, you might disrespect this country.
So this thing,
But trust me, when they
when
look at us,
the
like,
tension
I know.
of
I don't know
xenophobia
about
starts rising at any point, Nigerian government calls them to order. I don't know if you realize. It's
Yeah.
mostly closed up, but media shows a little bit of details on it.
Mm-hmm.
My guy
They
doesn't
call them
see
to
us.
order.
He doesn't see us like
Be-
we are the
these
ones.
people
Look,
know they are indebted.
This is what
to
I'm
us.
saying. Like, right, the Nigeria is not the giant of Africa that it used to be. We're still big. Don't get me wrong. That's not. I'm not saying we're not big.
Okay.
We are big in Africa. But now, first of all, Nigeria is also one of the biggest countries in Africa. Nigeria is not a small boy, and militarily, Nigeria also has
Yeah,
mapped.
yes.
Nigeria is now also backed by 3 other military-led countries,
Yes.
and it's also backed by powerful countries like Algeria in Africa. So that influence that Tinubu has in Africa can be countered by all of this, and there are people that might have decided to go
And
with
that's if
Tinubu
he
before
plays.
that will now decide to be neutral.
That's if he plays the antagonist to the fullest. If he plays the devil's advocate
My guy,
for long enough,
whether we pay-
then there will be like obviously there's the Russian
So he
backing.
has
Yeah.
to,
There's the
he has to
Russian
toe
backing.
the line.
I get what
You
he's
understand?
saying.
So he has to toe
Superior
the line
Yeah.
and consult
Totally.
people. This is my point. Don't just go and be making declarations. Consult people. Consult the nations around us. Consult people within Nigeria
Something.
before you make
So
decisions.
me, Sontee, I get what you are saying perfectly.
I agree.
But then, I don't think you have been following this news. Even if you have been following it, you understand? Maybe you have been noticing some kind of things. Yeah, before Tinubu, I know when he made that statement. Before he made that statement, the chairman of ECOWAS making that
So when the Senate says, "Guy, fuck you and your order,"
My guy,
who
the Senate
is
is not-
then in charge of
My
anything?
guy, you know
who
what you are-
is the Tinubu
My
that
guy-
he doesn't have mouth again?
My guy,
that the Senate
you
can
know
say,
what you are
"Fuck you,
saying?
guy, we're not
The
going
Senate
anywhere."
did not say fuck
What
you.
did they say?
The Senate,
They said no.
The Senate, yes, the Senate. Did you read the reasons?
They said no.
Yes, but did you read the
They
reasons?
said no.
Yes, but did you read the reasons? See, before you say something, read the reasons. Now the Senate said no because we are not in that. We're not financially. We're not coming out of
Tinubu.
economic downturn.
The
We're
reason
not
that-
going to finance that thing. But
The
then,
reason I wasn't
no, my guy. This is the
If
hostess. I want the
Tinubu
news
had
yesterday.
consulted with his people,
My guy.
he would have known those reasons
My
before
guy.
he made his stupid threats.
See my
That
guy.
is my point.
See my statement. See my guy. I was watching the news yesterday. And this was your analysis from Senate. Yes, we're not going to do the. We're not in support of a war now. You understand? There's still time for peacekeeping now. I say peacekeeping, diplomatic talks and everything. But then, if there's any necessary need, this is the analysis I watched from news yesterday. There's any necessary need for us to go to war, we are in full support.
Why didn't Tinubu say that?
Because
Tinubu did not consult with his people.
Banky, can you tell that Tinubu just finished consulting with ECOWAS, and ECOWAS is a unified decision. Tinubu cannot just come out and say something on the news without having consulted with this president and have, okay, this is what we are going to stand on, that we are going to attack. And mind you, it's not just Tinubu that said this in France, America, UN have said yes, invade these people. If they don't,
did they
yes.
Did they say if you don't leave this country now, we're going to invade? Did they give any threats?
Hear me.
France, no. Just say no.
Wait, hear me well. They said they are in support of ECOWAS in invading these people.
ECOWAS is their mouthpiece.
Yes, it's the mouthpiece. He's the leader. He's saying what they have want to do. Not just in Nigeria country.
That's not diplomacy.
Like that's what I'm saying. This is the problem with that. Why, like, if the leaders of ECOWAS all gather together and make a decision, and that decision can be undermined by the Nigerian Senate, then what the fuck is the point of the decision?
It's not undermined by the Nigerian Senate. You don't understand this thing. See,
you don't understand.
Wait, let me explain it for you, my guy. It is because Nigerian Senate saying no doesn't mean that ECOWAS cannot still go to war. Let me tell you something. Even Nigerian Senate say yeah, they're not ready to finance war. ECOWAS can still go to war. Why? Because it's a war not just Nigeria against Niger. It's a war ECOWAS against
which
Niger.
Which of them?
Yes, Nigeria will be going to war.
Which
but
which
what
of them?
will be backing from
Nigeria,
all ECOWAS countries? Understand? All ECOWAS countries, UN. In fact, UN said I was going to the news yesterday. UN said they will send troops to the borders of Niger. Not just only UN said it. Wait to calm down. France said they will not take their troops away from Niger. Now, mind you, Niger has given France 30 days to leave the country. But France said no, we will not leave because we did not make an agreement with this current government. Made an agreement with Mohamed Bazoum to concerning the uranium, and we're not leaving, and we're going to stay on the border, which is an act of war. Understand? Now, I want to get something. It's not about being a leader. You have to come out and say no. But mind you, we sitting at the table. There have to be decisions. They have to be voting. It's just like us having like 4 or 5. Me as the leader can say no, you don't know attack these people. But if 4 people say yes, attack, the decision has been made.
No.
I'm coming.
No.
I don't
not if
know
the decision requires my military.
I don't
military is saying no.
Except
you are not.
I what you're talking about. I also get what you're saying.
Except if Nigeria does not join ECOWAS anymore. Before Tinubu can come out and say
no, wait,
I'm not
Fiki, I don't think it works.
That's not the same.
I get your point. That when there is a majority vote, yes, the decision is carried on. Like now, let's say for instance, ECOWAS decides that they should vote whether there should be force on Niger or not, and then let's say 30 to like 15 people, 30 votes say yes, 15 people say 15 countries say no. Now, Nigeria is part of the country saying yes. It's obvious from what Tinubu has said. Nigeria is part of the country. Definitely yes. So it's not just majority votes. It's not just ECOWAS saying yes. But Nigeria as a country and Tinubu being the leader of ECOWAS is in support. Now, if Nigeria votes no, in that case, Nigeria wouldn't be making the threat.
Now, I want to ask
that's where I agree with
something. And I want to ask you one question. Understand? If Nigeria say no, understand, we qualify Nigeria to still be part of ECOWAS?
That is now
because
that's where I'm
countries said no.
That's where I'm getting to.
19 countries.
So countries.
If part of ECOWAS.
Is there no country in ECOWAS that said no?
No country in ECOWAS said no.
How do you know that?
Because I have followed this thing.
You are in the meeting.
It is out there. All the countries in ECOWAS said yes.
Me, I don't believe those.
There are some countries. There are some countries in ECOWAS.
It is a French and British backed.
Yes, I know.
When you think of it, I will just know that there will be interest. There will be negotiations.
I understand.
And imagine if you, as a leader of the country now, and Britain or let's say the United Nations promise that they are going to send so amount of billions of dollars off record. Off record, because we all know that they are off record deals.
Yes, definitely.
We are not children. We know they are off record deals.
Which something might not be
between the Western countries and African countries. So off record, they say that they are going to give you so billions as aid for free if you just vote yes at that meeting.
Yes.
The first thing
I believe
the only thing you are thinking about is yes.
I believe you. Yes, I believe you. Do you know why I believe you?
That's the only way
I believe you. Yes, because you know everybody. That's why I told Sontee that yes, if you look at all the countries that is in support of this war, they are all ECOWAS country. Now, all the countries that don't support this war, Yeah, like Guinea, Mali. Not that Guinea, Mali. I say Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso are part of ECOWAS before, but they're not in part. They're not part of ECOWAS. Good, thank you. And they don't support the war. Now that I'm saying something that if Tinubu comes out and say he doesn't support the war, one, it will jeopardize his position as a leader. Let's be serious and let's be factuous. And let's be guys. It will jeopardize his position as a leader, as chief of ECOWAS, chief chairman of ECOWAS, and president of Nigeria. And again, it will not give us.
Doesn't go ahead with it.
Yes, it will not give us a solid ground on ECOWAS. Do you agree on me or yes?
I only agree with your second point.
You know,
hold on.
They might not have a solid point.
You know what?
Because all the other countries are saying yes. Sorry, good. All the other countries are saying yes. So it could only mean one thing: Nigeria leaves ECOWAS and just becomes a friendly alliance with Niger.
But that is not the point that I have made at all.
The tricky part.
So that's not what you're arguing. You're arguing against the point I'm not making.
No, but the tricky part is that how long would it take for Nigeria to attack this decision? And me, I feel it will take so long and it will take so much tension that it might not result to war.
Yeah, I feel as I said it, I see the war booming, I see the war building. But then the war that is building is backed by external influence. Trust me, Nigeria don't want to attack Niger. Understand? But as Bank said, there is pressure from external America, France. That's what I'm talking about. To do it. If you might say it because you're not in this position, but trust me, my guy, it's not easy for someone like Tinubu right now because he's receiving a lot of enormous pressure. You might say yes, he's the president, but mind you, he's also a woman. Pressure will make him make some certain decisions.
He's the one that's been pursuing the power.
Yes,
so
I understand.
Tinubu has been pursuing. He wanted to be.
Yes,
he wanted
I understand. But I want you to understand.
The pressure. Why are you there?
But I want you to understand that. Whatever decision he is making is either influence, understand, or pressure from all these external factors. If Tinubu decides to say no, and let me tell you what will happen. Let me just say what will happen. Let me tell you what will happen. No.
I'm not making.
Wait,
I didn't say that Tinubu should say.
No, you said it making big. Understand?
I said don't make an empty threat. That is my only
point. To me,
point.
I don't see it as an empty threat because he has the backing of ECOWAS. One. And two, I'm telling you I'm making a statement that if Tinubu decides to say no to whatever agreement ECOWAS have made on that table, as a chairman, one, it will jeopardize his position as a chairman, it will motivate the coups around the African country. Wait till
these are
calm down.
We have already agreed.
And three, let me tell you one thing. You know that Tinubu became president with a lot of irregularities and everything, understand? But when bust your head, if Tinubu says no, do you know that America, there's a case with America that said he had to pay some money to about drugs and everything that they seized from him, then he paid money to Tinubu. One American case that they seized some drugs with him. That was in court now that Obi took him to court with. That American.
No, they didn't get evidence.
There was no evidence, but there was a case.
There was a civil case.
There's a case. Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. And there was a government that America found him innocent, that he collected
money. He paid money.
You know, if you go against, you might think it's a lie, but if you go against external influence, that have strong influence with you, against you, that have strong influence in your country especially, let me tell you, it's not easy for you in that country anymore as a president. Nigeria in control of that power. You'll be surprised, that there will be a major coup in Nigeria if Tinubu says no.
Coup?
Yeah.
In Nigeria?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
You might think so, but you know why I say to be backed by external influence? Because one, it will come.
I think you undermine Nigerian power.
I don't undermine Nigerian power, but I think you guys undermine external factors.
No, I think.
Let me tell you something. In Africa, when it comes to military, Nigeria is the strongest.
I know, yeah.
But it's not just the military.
Yeah.
You have to understand. Nigeria kind of dominates in African international, in the African sense, like when they are talking about diplomats, and the fact that they made Tinubu the chairman is not a coincidence. You understand?
Thank you.
And they can't just remove him for saying no. Tinubu is powerful enough to actually influence African country to join in his decision.
Yeah.
And that is from what I've read about the guy. Because Tinubu has been a driving factor right from time.
Yeah.
He's been controlling diplomats internationally. And he can make some of these countries benefit from Nigeria, because let's be honest, Nigeria has a lot to give out to
right.
This subsidy removal, I think he just removed it.
No.
African countries around us are gaining.
Yeah, true.
The people, they are supplying oil to their countrymen, but they are buying from Nigeria. They are buying at the cheap price and then selling it expensive in their countries. Now, that was just before the removal of this. Now that is just oil. We don't know whatever other thing, but I'm sure this guy has a hold on African countries. You understand, bro?
To me,
I love
him. That's why when you say weak, I was like, no, man, you don't respect this man enough.
That's why I was offended. But now,
driving to my point,
understand?
But I want you to understand.
Driving to my point, Western influence over those other African countries. When Tinubu, and remember, Nigeria has an influence in one African country or the other. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I know.
But Rwanda, Nigeria supported Rwanda. During the war, Nigeria provided security troops and was one of the driving force for Rwanda to gain independence. You say as much shit as
South Africa.
You can say as much shit as you want about Nigeria externally. But Nigeria has a big
platform internationally.
African countries that me, I personally believe that if there's Western influence against Nigeria, African countries will rise to the side of Nigeria. Most African countries, even South Africa. Now, during apartheid, Nigeria supported the revolution of the black South Africa.
And you know that Nigerians, we're paying salary. We're paying their salary. We're cutting out of our salaries.
When Ghana was facing crisis, before the Ghana must go issue, let's be honest, Nigeria empowers Ghanaians.
Yes, but now
there might be that tension between Nigeria and Ghana.
We're talking about today.
But me, I still believe, say deep down, there's enough Nigerians there in Ghana to drive decisions the way Nigerians want.
I don't think I agree with that.
But
I agree with you,
but back to my point, most African countries are actually going to stay on Nigeria's side.
Yeah, I think we do have a great influence in Africa.
Yeah, we have.
But I don't think, maybe not as much as you're saying, to be honest. Like South Africa.
Bro, we have the biggest influence.
South Africa doesn't.
No, you're talking about development. Forget development.
No, I'm not
Why we say
I'm talking about love.
Why we say
Why do you don't understand? They are indebted.
South Africa indebted to us.
And how are they paying us back? Is it like empty and charging Nigeria more than everybody else?
No, see, do you think I will help you in a
we paying for TV?
Thank you.
Do you think I will help
you
you as a leader, and you're also a leader in your country? Do you think I will just come to your country, help you in a war, help you succeed, and I won't be taking
I'm paying your staff.
That is what I'm saying. Where is the evidence?
No, that we're paying you.
Are you not seeing how South Africa is treating us today?
No, guys, forget that news. When those are xenophobia news. Actual help. Because let me tell you something.
News.
With that xenophobia news, even though it was exaggerated.
Yes, it was.
No, I'm not even talking about that.
It was exaggerated.
I'm talking about their policy, their business way of treating Nigeria,
let's be honest,
and their policies.
Let's be honest, a lot of Nigerians have made so much money off South African businesses.
True. Yeah.
You understand? And the way we treat them isn't all that fair. The way we treat their businesses isn't all that fair.
True.
You think they're making the most money, but if you know what's in Nigerian government has
honestly from them,
then you know that it's not all that fair.
See, my guy, you might disrespect this country.
So this is
but trust me, when
the tension of xenophobia starts rising at any point, Nigerian government calls them to order. I don't know if you realize. It's mostly closed up, but media shows a little bit of details on it.
But
they call them to order.
It doesn't see us like
these people know they are indebted.
This is what I'm saying, right? The Nigeria is not the giant of Africa that it used to be. We're still big. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're not big.
Okay.
We're big in Africa. But now, first of all, Nigeria is also one of the biggest countries in Africa. Nigeria is not a small boy. And militarily, Nigeria also has maps.
Yes.
Nigeria is now also backed by 3 other military-led countries.
Yes.
And it's also backed by powerful countries like Algeria in Africa. So that influence that Tinubu has in Africa can be countered by all of this. And there are there are people that might have decided to go
And
to
that's
Tinubu
if he
before,
plays.
but will now decide to be neutral.
That's if he plays the antagonist to the fullest. If he plays the devil's advocate
My guy,
for long enough,
when I will be-
then there will be like obviously there's the Russian
So he
backing.
has
Yeah,
to-
there's the
he has to
Russian
toe the
backing.
line.
I get what
You
he's saying.
understand? So
Superior
he has to
power,
toe the
Sontee.
line
Yeah.
and consult
Sontee.
people. This is my
Sontee.
point. Don't just go and be making declarations. Consult people. Consult the nations around us. Consult people within Nigeria
Sontee.
before you make
So
decisions.
Sontee, I get what you are saying perfectly.
I agree.
But then, I don't think you have been following this news. Even if you have been following it, understand? Maybe you have noticed some kind of things. Yeah, before Tinubu, I know when he made that statement. There have been 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken, ECOWAS meeting. I don't even know if you guys remember or you guys are not aware about.
No way. They
They
have
are.
already been sanctioning Niger. Yes, I know.
Yes, and before that statement, I'm just saying that they've been closed door meetings.
Yes.
And I want you to understand that, yes, I understand is that leader to make a decision, no, but trust me, guy, he has people that will advise him, or people that will advise him better. He has the best advisor, special aids than us here around him that will tell that. Why don't you consult this consultant? And I want to bet, I want to tell you that yes, he would have done that. I don't even talk about
Really?
that.
Really? He would have consulted the Senate.
He would have consulted every people in
The
the
Senate.
consult. Whether he consulted the Senate or not. Did
So he doesn't need to
you hear
consult
the
the
Senate's view?
The-
The Senate view said they are ready to go to war if there is necessary. If it is necessary, doesn't mean that they won't go to war. They said no because of
They
our
said no.
economy.
You see, like you're
Yeah.
agreeing with my point.
Banky.
I'm trying to form like a
Hear what I'm
disagreeing.
saying.
They said
when I say
no.
no, we're not ready yet, but if there's need to, we'll go. Doesn't mean that I object.
No, like before you answer
I
that
want to
question,
answer me
I want to
too.
put it in context.
Understand?
There's a gang now. Let's say me,
Doesn't mean
I'm
that-
here, and there's a Eje outside now. They want to come. Like I say, let's go and kill these people, and you say no, not now, but if we need to in the future. Is that you agreeing? for us to go and
Because
attack
see where he's making his problem from, because he's taking Tinubu's decision there was just solely based on Nigeria. No, Tinubu's decision is solely based on
It's
all
my problem.
the decision that all the
That's not what I'm saying.
That's not what he's saying.
that what that
Like,
Tinubu have said
that's
no,
not-
or Tinubu
I
have
am
seen
saying-
advice from our Senate.
Tinubu should don't make a declaration. They can come out of that ECOWAS meeting.
What
and
he's
all
saying
agree.
that what he's saying that like Tinubu should try and get everybody involved in Nigeria.
Before you make an announcement that this is what we are going to do, when you can't do these
And
things without
he
people
is
agreeing.
trying to tell you that there are superpowers backing Tinubu, that he has to be the mouthpiece. and
Yeah, but
doesn't-
Tinubu is
doesn't
just
have
the
to consult.
mouthpiece. You know that he's going to consult it. Do you know that for Tinubu has to consult the Senate, because why? If he does not have to consult the Senate, he would have sent them a letter. Understand? But what he said there was as a mouthpiece, as a messenger, as the chairman. That's what I'm saying. See, my guy, it's just how it is. There's no the right way to do it. It's just the way it is. It is a policy. It's just the way it is there.
Do you see
It's politics.
But the way I see it here,
It's
is-
politics.
is-
I know you're
see-
saying
see-
fine. I perfectly understand that. Yes, if I make a decision, you have to consult his country, whether his country is going. But my guy, I need to understand that this thing is different from the way we analyze it, because this is political issue. This is diplomatic issues.
This is the way I see
Because
it. This is the
it
way-
doesn't
this
mean
way-
it should be
this
stupid.
way I'm actually.
It's not being
seeing it.
stupid.
This is the way I'm seeing
It's
it.
a mouthpiece.
And you don't have to put too much like. Don't think it will be directly from Nigeria any use of force.
Yes.
The way I see it is like Nigeria is only just not just a mouthpiece, but like it's just advocating for the West that please hand over power so that they won't be wild.
Exactly.
There's been peace in this region.
Exactly.
Let
Well,
peace continue.
exactly.
Because let me tell you something. The United States of America, they wouldn't, or maybe let me just say the French authority, the French government, they would. Obviously, they are not in agreement with this coup because they cannot control the leadership there.
Yes.
You understand?
I understand.
They can't control the leadership there, so they are not in agreement with it. So they will try and maybe use Nigeria to talk to.
Yes,
them.
because
any sign of force,
aggression.
I don't really think. I'm still standing on my ground. I don't really think it will come from.
No, it's
Nigeria.
not.
I feel like
I
it
don't
will
believe
come
it.
from the French troops.
Yes.
You
And not
understand?
honestly, not that the French troops are still in Nigeria. I believe it will come from the French troops. Trust me. And again,
Now, where Nigeria can actually stop that is if we stand on our ground and say that we don't want any troop of a French denomination to step on our land.
Yes.
That means that we are not giving them what they call it, diplomatic language. There's a name they call it. We are not giving them. Okay, it's sort of like a right to bring in your troops.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the
them,
words as well. I think that thing is out of memory of some dumb like that.
Just go on.
Are we?
Let's go on the break.
No, I don't want us to go on the break. Let's just continue.
Yeah, let's
just.
This camera is still running.
Yeah, this one is running, but this one has stopped.
I have because I was the one who stopped.
We have 5 minutes. Okay, you were the one that said this.
Yeah, I have a reason for that.
So let's go.
Well, continue.
Okay, low battery.
Oh yeah, I think that.
Hey, there was a thing you said about
You're trying to remember that thing, right?
No. Oh, sorry, you were making a point.
Yeah, like
what do you mean your own? Oh, see, there's no see.
you know the sort of license that they give for extraditing someone.
Yeah.
It's still the same license that they give because it's basically allowing the military of this country to come into my country, because if they cannot come on Nigerian land, obviously they are not allowed on Nigerian land. So they cannot operate easily. So Nigeria will just be one of
provide aid for them.
Allies at that point. Now I feel like it can backfire. I don't know if Nigerian government can get to that point of, but I wish they can say that the French shouldn't bring their well. I wish it can get there.
Well, it is what about
because we don't want war.
As much as I don't support this group, I see where they are getting to. I see why they want to do it. Everybody wants to pull out away from the oppressors. We want to start being in charge of whatever they are doing in their country, their resources and everything. I see it, understand. But then I won't be the one to tell you that this is the right way to lead your country, understand? Because in this world there are still people that still practice monarchy, there's still people that still practice communism. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Everybody have their own way of managing their country. But my own is, when we start, which we are doing, intervene in other people's business, which we have to, because one, they see us as the giant of Africa, they see us as the forerunner of all those kind of things of democracy. Now, you look at democracy in Africa today, Nigeria is one of the countries that has transitioned very well in democracy after the whole coup and everything. That's what I'm talking about. So we're one of the forerunners of democracy. So we have to lead by example. That's what I'm talking about. So definitely, all leading by example, we have to set a certain standard that, okay, yes, this has to be. Understand? I'm not in support of us invading, which I don't see us invading, or which I don't see us using aggression. Understand? Which I still feel that we're still going to play around it. Understand? But if any need for us to invade, then that's it, man.
I agree. I think that's something I can definitely agree.
We have to wrap this thing up. I think our sponsors will come in at the end in this episode. But it's
not Budweiser Legend or Trophy, by the way.
You shouldn't have mentioned it.
Oh, you cut that.
Literally just
yes. Like guy.
Yeah.
Text me.
It's been a pleasure, guys.
Text me. I did podcast.
Wait, are we ending?
Text me.
I think we should end.
Yes. Let's
start the UFO thing.
The UFOs. I think we should get and talk about UFOs next week.
Alright, we can do it.
Yeah.
Talk about this.
That UFO, how aliens wants to come and colonize the world, it will be interesting.
Yeah. Well, specifically,
and now I would actually love to have sex with an alien.
Dude, you don't know what the fuck they look like. What are you talking about? What if they look like? What if they look like cotton wool that you have soaked in water?
No matter what they look like, they can reproduce. And once they can reproduce, they have a sexual organ.
Well,
amen.
What if their sexual organ goes into like a dick hole?
Okay, no. So it's a pleasure from us to do. Lazy Nigerian youth.
Yeah, peace out, yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.